Welcome to the first of several special editions of the Yellow Factory Radio Show on Preston FM 103.2, your community, your radio, in which we will be looking back at the atmosphere and events of Preston Guild 2012. Let's start with the Guild song.
Well, it has been described as England's greatest carnival.
Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay!
And the City Fathers of Preston negotiated a price of 100 marks for that charter in 1179. As far as we know, the first guild was in 1328.
If you are not in Preston in Guild Week, you are missing something quite unique.
On 103.2 FM.
From Grosvenor to Grimsby
and Frenchwood to Farringdon Park.
It's your community,
your radio, your Preston FM. So, welcome once again. My name is Gary Cunliffe, and this is a special edition of my Yellow Factory Radio Show. At a time 12 months since Preston Guild has long gone, but Preston, as I came in this evening, is still alive with things going on, the Harris flights to 2013. It's good that we've got this legacy of cultural and heritage activities still going on in Preston, and maybe we're not going to forget how great the Guild was. So I'm going to be looking back at things that happened in Preston Guild. We've only got 19 years to go to the next one. There is a time capsule going into the ground later this year. It would be great, wouldn't it, to get something in there that you could see dig up when I would be 70 odd then. But my children would, yeah. So the time capsule is there. We're reaching out to the next Guild already. But I would like to keep the spirit of Guild alive by looking back at the events and the activities of 12 months ago. Oh, we mustn't forget also that Preston is now branded a Guild city. So we're not going to be able to forget that, are we? I was privileged back in 2012 to be doing the Guild shows on Preston FM. I took over from Shay Seymour, who'd taken over from Richard Lace, our then station project leader, and I began broadcasting the Guild show in June 2012. And I've got sort of a resume of what was in those early shows. In June, I went to the Sing the Docks project, which was the City Council and the More Music song project to produce music for the Riversway Festival. So I was down there talking to those people at rehearsals. I was meeting young people who were working with the Duke's Theatre, planning a show called Metropolis for Guild Week in the Guildhall. I was talking and visiting Ian McConaughey of Age Concern, who was putting together an exhibition of Guild memories and Guild photographs they'd been doing for 18 months building up to Guild. And I was also down at the Sky Ride getting excited about the Guild Wheel coming up. So they were things that were happening in June as we were looking forward to the celebrations starting with the proclamations in August. Now, if I look back at the proclamations, they were memorable weekends. The 18th of August was the first proclamation and that wonderful bicycle ballet and the opening of the Guild Wheel. The second proclamation, a week later, the 25th of August, was the military parade. Dave Watson, the disabled soldier, came with his Olympic torch, and then there was the military show at Fulwood Barracks, and I seem to remember it rained and threw it down. The third procession, the proclamation, I'm thinking of the processions, getting excited already, was the return of the scrolls, the Guild scrolls from around the world. And then it was followed by what I just tried to say, the procession, the trades procession. It was Vintage Weekend, that wonderful thing where you couldn't move down Winkley Square and the parks because you just couldn't move, it was heaving. So over these couple of special shows, I'm going to try and look back at those things. But as I said, in the months leading up to Guild, we were getting ready for the Sing the Docks Festival at Riversway. Preston City Council and More Music had brought people together, local musicians and songwriters, for a Sing the Docks project. It was the Riversway Festival, and there was going to be a huge event, a full weekend of celebration, live performance, and a new suite of music composed by the people and performed by the people, especially for Preston with its links to the sea, the water, the river, and its history. The main focus of this was Guild. The main song was the Guild Anthem. It was commissioned and written by Pete Moser and Lem Cisse. It was a poet with input from, I think, from the choir people. It was performed at the three processions. I'm doing it again. The three proclamations on the flag market. And I went along to rehearsals in June of 2012 to meet the people who were preparing for this great, fantastic weekend that was the Riversway Festival. We're going to hear from Rose and Pete from the More Music team, but first, let's listen to the Guild Anthem. This is in rehearsal in June. Rose Hodgson, you are project manager for
I
the
am
Sing the Docs.
indeed.
You had a great crowd here this evening.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I bet you know how many there were as well, don't you?
Approximately 140, I think, so yeah.
Because you coordinate the emails and get people...
Yeah, I've
right.
sort of been trying to get word out to lots of choirs around Preston and beyond to get people along. And
So at the start, Pete went round the room and mentioned some of the choirs that...
Yes.
Well, can you remember any of those names? Put me on the spot.
I think I will remember quite a few. There's Blackburn People's Choir, there's Galloway's Choir, there's One Voice Community Choir, Preston People's Choir, St Stephen's Community Choir.
You can stop soon if you like.
Yeah, and there's lots. I won't have mentioned them all at all.
This isn't a flash in the pan project. It's been going on more than 12 months.
Yes.
Because you had a trial run at last year's Riversway, is that correct?
That's right, yes. We've been, it's been going for 3 years altogether. So we were
Even longer
at
than I thought.
Riversway the last 2 years as well, kind of building momentum. And,
Right.
it was compared to this, a much smaller crowd last year. But that was the aim, to build it up. And we've also been... Sorry, we've also been working with quite a few schools around Preston. Ben, who was here this evening, has been writing songs with the children, so they'll be joining us as well on 22nd of July at Riversway. So it should be a good crowd.
What I was going to say was that people Sing the Docs in the newspaper and don't realise that you've got a whole suite of new material here, based around Preston, the Docs and history. Where has that all come from?
Various sources. Got Pete Moser, who's the artistic director of the project.
His name is on a lot of the songs.
Yes, indeed. He's been working with quite a few visiting choirs around the area and writing songs with the choirs, so quite a few of the songs have come from that. Also, local folk musicians who are here this evening have been commissioned to write songs, especially for the project.
I was just chatting to Susie and Rob, who I know from a few years ago when they were in a band with my son.
Right.
It was Small World.
Small World, there you go.
Tom Walsh.
Tom Walsh and
Susie and other people as well have joined
Paul
in.
Russell has written one of the songs, so lots of local musicians getting involved. So
it's not just going to be a one-off for Riversway on the 22nd of July, is it?
No, that's right, yes.
Further plans?
Yes, we're going to be singing the Guild Anthem, which is the kind of main event, I suppose, leading up to that. We're going to be singing that at the Guild Proclamation events on Saturday the 18th of August and Saturday the 1st of September. And then possibly at another occasion in the Guild Week as well. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Now tell us about More Music, because you're based in Morecambe, but you've got a long history of working with community singers and music.
Yes, that's right. So More Music's been going now for I think 18 years, founded by Pete Moser. And it's kind of grown over the years, and we're now working, not just in Morecambe but all over Lancashire and across the UK, and also got projects going on in China and in Brazil as well. So it's kind of, it's...
You get to fly out?
Not me, unfortunately, no, but there we go.
Now, if anybody still wants to get involved, is it too late to become a singer?
No, I think because we have all the songs are up on our website, so people can have a listen, look at the words and stuff, so you can kind of swat up a bit if you want to still get involved. So, and you can find that on the More Music website, which is www.moremusic.org.uk.
And I was on today, there's a Sing the Docs tab, and you click and you're through to the songs are there, and all the parts are there, the soprano parts, the tenor parts.
Yes, the recordings are all kind of broken down into parts, so people can kind of...
One of those wonderful websites, is it Mixcloud or Soundcloud, where you get the wave pattern as well,
right, yes.
Very flash.
Oh yes, all the mod cons.
So you can learn the songs before you come to the rehearsal, can't you?
Yeah, potentially. You can download them as well, so you can stick them on your iPod or whatever, or put them onto a CD and sing along in the car.
And ideally we want 2012 singers, don't we?
Well, we were aiming to kind of work with 2012 singers over the course of the whole project, so it's an ambition.
It's an ambition. We'll just have to keep going.
Absolutely.
And batter them till they all turn up. So thank you for letting me come along.
No,
Preston FM
thanks for coming.
is pleased to support this and support the Guild, and we've had competition with Radio Lancashire, but we're just as good.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Rose.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Pete Moser, you must be shattered.
I am very tired. It was very good, but it was quite an intense session, and you're continually having to kind of think ahead at the same time as doing what you're doing.
Well, I've been on the mailing list for quite some time from Rose, so I've followed the project, but only just got now to come to catch up with you for Preston FM. I didn't realise it was all new material. That's really, really very good.
Yeah, well, that's what we're about as an organisation, is about originality and about new songs and about trying to make, put new music on the map, really. And they're new songs, but a lot of them have kind of really sense of that they've been here a long time, actually.
I think the public is going to have a pleasant surprise when they come and listen, because it's not, well, yeah, it's really exciting new music, and you've got lots of local people involved in the writing. Susie and Tom. How did you meet them by chance? Have you known them for a while?
Well, Tom was the key one, actually. Tom, we met a year or two ago, and when I was going into this, he said he could get a few songwriters together. He got caught up with it and really liked the idea of it, and invited some songwriters. And we had a session at the Moorbrook, and he said, "Why don't you write that one? You write," and he gave them to different people, and then it all worked from there.
And this is a couple of years ago, actually, isn't it? Because
that was 6 months ago.
But you've been involved in the project because you had a dry run last year at the festival, didn't you?
We've been doing it for 3 years, actually, slowly building up over 3 years. We've had enough money for it. You can always use more money, and it could have been a bigger project, but it's done. I'm very pleased very pleased with the number of people, the mix of people, when we get the young people and the school children involved.
Was this a good turnout tonight?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So there are more to come and join who can't be here tonight. 2 more rehearsals?
2 more rehearsals, yes. And then we'll do the big thing on the 22nd of July. But following that, we'll definitely do something in Guild Week.
You should.
Definitely do something in Guild Week.
Yeah.
On 103.2 FM.
From Moonook to Millipore
and Ingle to Grange.
It's your community, your radio,
your Preston FM.
Dear listener, please don't log on to the More Music website and try to sign up for the Sing the Docks project. I am having a look back at the events of Preston Guild 2012 as seen through the eyes of the Guild show on the Guild radio station. Yes, I'd forgotten we were the People's Guild radio station, very proudly carrying the brand for Preston Guild 2012. Now, I'm looking back in this first of what I hope will be in a series of shows at the things that were happening before the proclamations. I'm just looking at my list of Guild show topics here. We did a whole show about a school enterprise project where loads of schools from Preston and South Ribble, primaries and secondaries, took over the Guildhall arcade and did enterprise projects, and that was a great thing. We did a whole hour show about that. There was the bicycle ballet people that performed on the Flag Market and for the opening of the Guild Wheel. I went and met them several times, and I've never laughed so much in my life, but in the nicest possible way, because everybody was having such fun. But one of the big events we were just saying was the Riversway Festival. It's sad to see that this year it was very, very much downgraded, and all the money had been pulled because Guild Year had gone, but it still went ahead after a fashion and people enjoyed it. But last year it was a really, really, really big event, and that was 3 times really there. I went down, obviously, as I would on the day, and collected some highlights and talked to some people, and really it was a wonderful day. So I'm going to play you the highlights of last year's Preston Guild 2012 Riversway Festival, and please watch out for the street entertainer called Gacko, because I still giggle when I listen to him now.
Good morning, ladies all, and
I'm a volunteer with Preston FM, recording some audio for the Guild show.
Oh, right.
Are you a proud Prestonian?
Of course we're a proud Prestonian. Taking part in 2 Guild processions. And it's my 3rd Guild.
This is what we want. We want
your
people.
3rd Guild? My 3rd Guild.
You must have been very young.
Not quite.
Are you really a Guild volunteer? No, you're here. Yes, you are. No,
yeah,
you're singing later.
Yes,
we are singing later, yes, 1 o'clock.
I've got the programme here.
Yes.
So this is great, where everybody comes down and just joins in the singing. So what, are you singing songs from the shows later? You're singing
from Mac and Mabel. This is our Guild production in September, Mac and Mabel, and we're going to be singing a few songs from it.
We are.
Right. So have you got a prime slot in Guild Week, or are you before or after Guild Week?
It's the week after Guild Week.
We'll still be all excited, won't we?
Oh, it will. Yeah, we're taking part in 2 processions, the Community and the Torchlight, and we'll be promoting the show. It's a good opportunity to promote the show on the processions as well. This is Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
Mark's probably somewhere else.
Are you important in the Preston Musical Comedy Society?
It's very important.
I'm very important. Very important. Chorus master.
Good.
I'm in the show as well.
Right.
And a fabulous singer.
Right, and what's your
when I'm well.
Well, I'm a bit like that lately. I had a gig last night singing a band, and I've been fighting this.
Oh, he's got man flu.
I've got man flu. 2nd time in 8 weeks, and I'm sick of it now.
Well, we're prone to it, us men, aren't we?
Oh, we are, yes.
Yeah.
But we don't go on when we're ill. Oh no.
So what's your membership like nowadays? Are you well supported?
Excellent. We've got a really, really diverse set of people. Young teenagers just leaving school and then people at college, university, right up to people in there.
People who've been with the society
for a long
years.
time,
So,
yes.
what is the email address if people want to join, having heard you on Preston FM?
Well, look at the website, PrestonMusicalComedy.com.
Great, easy to remember, PrestonMusicalComedy.com.
And we're on
.co.uk.
Google you.
Google it.
You can find us on Facebook as well.
Good. What time are you performing?
1 o'clock.
Am I allowed to record a number or two?
Of course you can.
Great stuff. And your third guild, for one so young?
72, 92. And 2012.
So what's your earliest memory of Guild? Was it something funny, something sad?
Well,
something...
I remember being an angel on a float, and as you can see, the serenity of the angelicness is still here with me today.
Good. So you were in the church's procession?
I was in the church's procession, and I was an angel on a float, and I do remember because we all sat with our legs crossed for about 4 hours, and by the end of it, I think there was a lot of puddles on the back of the lorry.
Well, yes, because nobody thought of that, did they?
No.
Just sit there, children. Only going to last all day. So what are you taking part in this time? Are you in the procession this time?
Yes, with Preston Musical Comedy Society. We've got a float in the community procession, and we're going to be doing some singing and dancing behind the float to some well-known musicals, and we'll have our leading man and leading lady from Mac and Mabel, and in the torchlight procession, very much the same, but all lit up and twinkling.
Well, that's the most exciting one because it's dark and everything's
absolutely, yeah.
Right, well, thank you very much.
DJ Foxtrot in the house, sir. Bringing you nothing but the finest Edwardian thrash.
Is this entertainment?
The fattest needles guaranteed.
Is this a funny man? What's he doing? Is he playing his old-fashioned records?
This gentleman is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
He's dancing to 78 records.
I don't know what he's on though.
See you on the flip side.
Shall I go and talk to him?
Yeah.
Anytime. It really was nothing. Oh, drop in the mix. Hang on a minute. There we go. Give it another wind.
Now my name's Gary.
Hey, Gary.
I'm recording some audio to edit for Preston FM.
Now you are talking, my brother.
You seem to be a man full of energy.
Oh, baby, well, when I'm spinning my discs and my people are out there in the mosh pit dancing away and giving it the tango.
So tell us who you are.
I'm DJ Foxtrot in the house, and I've come all the way from the mighty metropolis of Barrow and Furness to bring people to Preston my fat tunes on my gramophone.
Now, just explain to me your equipment here, because you are at the cutting edge of technology.
Yes, I am, my brother, yes, I am. This one's just coming to an end now. Here we go. Let's have a bit of bass at the end.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, my brother, I'm just like you. I'm in the industry. You know, we spin some discs. We know what the people want.
So you've got 78 records here.
Yes, I have.
You're bringing them to the young people of today.
Yeah, baby, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've got nothing but the fattest needles that give us the fattest tunes. I'm bringing the Edwardian thrash to the masses. I've been learning from my good friend Snoopy the Doggy Dog and his friend 50 Pence. And I've been doing
10 shillings.
10 bob in my day, 10 bob, yeah. And we do this, we go around, we wander around. This is Dolly, my peripatetic perambulator of performance.
You have a hand-wound 78 gramophone, his master's voice. This must be worth a bob or two.
Well, 70 quid on eBay.
Was it?
Yeah, and now I earn my living from it. It's amazing. These times of recession, what you can do if you spend your money wisely.
Do you find people come and talk to you and ask you to explain what this wonderful contraption is? Because to me and you it makes sense.
It absolutely does. There's two kinds of people. There's people of a certain age who will remember these from picnics and the days they used to go swooning each other on the beach or punting along the canals with sandwiches and their wind-up HMV Mega Blaster, and who would sit on picnics and enjoy the music. And there are other people like children who've never seen anything like it before.
So you're actually doing living history.
In a way, yeah. I like to think I'm up to the minute max. I've nothing as modern as like Benny Hill and those kind of guys. No.
45s and
I do
33s.
have some Spike Jones and the City Slickers in my collection for the more punk rock people.
Spike Jones did a lot of this.
He did a lot of that. Yeah. So he also used to fire cannons and guns, which isn't so appropriate nowadays.
He did. So do you do this quite regularly during the summer period?
I do a number of things. I've got this is Dolly with the gramophone, the DJ mixing set. Also inside I've got lots of suitcases which is loaded with stories and songs with real instruments that I perform for families and children anywhere and everywhere. But I wander around festivals, and this is what I do for my living.
This is very good. So it's not just the music, it's storytelling.
That's right, yes. I keep it live as well, yes, with real instruments.
Well, I knew you were there from miles away because I could hear you rapping and
baby.
singing.
Well, I've got this 1920s.
Would you like to give us a little...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now shouting at you through my 1920s megaphone. All the people in the house say yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And the people in the caravan say yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm mashing it up, my people. Aye.
Do you do requests?
I often get asked to play further away.
Do you have any Paul Whiteman?
I don't have any in my collection. But it's a wonderful way to spend a summer's day. I used to work on nuclear submarines until 25 years ago.
Right.
I used to be responsible for testing the nuts and bolts that hold the core reactors together.
Did you retire, or did you make a career change?
I made a career. I decided to retire from the nuclear industry in favour of becoming a peripatetic street entertainer, and I've never looked back.
No, you seem happy.
Happy
you
days.
Found a new vocation.
Absolutely, and I'm going on holiday tomorrow.
Well,
on a canal boat, strangely. So I'll be looking at all the canal boats dotted around the docks here, and looking one eye on my holiday now.
Well, that's very good. So you never told me who you were, or you did, and I forgot.
DJ Foxtrot in the house. Yeah, baby, that's right.
DJ Foxtrot here at Preston Marina.
Living the dream.
Festival.
Yeah, entertaining my people with my fat tunes.
Thank you very much.
With a PH.
DJ Foxtrot.
Rock on, my brother.
You are my new hero.
Aye.
I'm going to Google you. Will you be there?
Good morning, ladies all, and
We're in the marquee at Riversway, aren't we? Listening to choirs.
We are.
And I know you from a long time ago, and you're a singer. So isn't this great that you can just wander down and listen to all these choirs?
It is lovely, yes. It's lovely to hear local communities getting together.
And you know people on the sound desk?
I do. I know James and Chris Haylor, who run the sound at the Guildhall, and they always come and do.
So tell us why you know them. Do you have a singing background yourself?
I do, yeah. I used to sing with a band, an army band, and then I sang with another band called Sold Out. I sung a solo myself when I was younger for the mayor, and Christmas concerts, summer concerts, festivals and all sorts.
And you were a member of the famous Ashton Band, weren't you?
I was the famous Ashton Band, yes.
Which we were just lamenting its demise. It's no longer, is that right? It's no longer playing?
No, we don't have an Ashton Band, unfortunately,
what a
now.
shame. But Preston Guild, you remember Guild 92, surely?
I do. I remember dressing up with like a silver sparkly wig on and have my face painted.
Was it in a procession, or
it was
that just your normal weekend gear?
Well, it is now, yeah. No, we were down at Leah Town, where St Mary's Church is down there. I remember going with my cousins.
Right, because you're still quite young, aren't you? So
I'm only 26, Gary, yeah.
So this is your second Preston Guild.
And my baby's a Guild baby.
Well, did you get a certificate?
I did, yeah, pink certificate.
When was she born?
19th of April.
Right, so it wasn't just a thing for New Year. They're actually keeping this on, are they?
Yeah, every baby this year. My friend's got a certificate as well, yeah, so...
Right, is it framed?
Not framed yet. It's laminated.
Right, because that was in the paper, wasn't it? January time.
Yeah.
And people forget that, so...
Guild baby, Olympic baby.
Olympic baby, Jubilee baby.
Jubilee baby, yeah.
What else is there? North End didn't go up, so it's not a promotion baby.
No.
Right, well, thank you for talking to me. You didn't want to.
No, I didn't.
But you'll be on Preston FM.
What's that?
I'll tell you.
Well,
this is a microphone that's recording talking. And you can hear it in a minute. But...
Hello?
Yeah.
So, no, but Dan,
that was a little bit too close.
You was in the Big Sing.
Have you just been in the Big Sing? Which school do you go to?
St Andrews.
And what was the song you were singing near the end?
Dream On?
Yeah, you were singing Dream On, and I was joining at the back, but was it to the rest of the world? Were you singing about all the things that you're proud of in Preston to the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Can you remember the chorus?
No.
Oh, can your dad remember the chorus?
Dream On.
Oh, no, that was the catchy one, wasn't it? Dream On. So have you been rehearsing at school for Preston Guild?
Yes.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes.
Do you know what Preston Guild is?
No.
Your dad will tell you, because it's an excuse for a big party once every 20 years. And what's your sister called? Because she's
Alice.
Alice. Hello, Alice. Did you listen to Sing the Dogs?
Yes.
And your mum and dad, I think I know one of them at least from a long time ago, your dad. From music.
What's his name?
His name's Peter.
Easy.
Easy. So were you proud watching them take part in Preston Guild?
Oh yeah, and he was through that school choir as well. He was part of the Guild Music Festival at Guildhall.
Right.
So that's what they've done. They've done that, and then they've done this, and it sounds like, are they going to be involved in the...
On the 3rd of September, it's Community Day or something, yeah. So do you have any memories of your first Preston Guild you could share with us?
I don't know my first Preston Guild,
because
but...
you're knocking on a bit now.
Yeah. I think the last one we had a street party, didn't we?
Yes.
Did you?
We had a big sort of like, we like the Blues Brothers.
Right.
So
you don't mind dressing up with that.
And on the day we had our own little talent showy thing. So me and my mate dressed up as Blues Brothers and did a couple of Blues Brothers tracks. Took a set.
Yeah.
Took a set.
In the day. It's a time when people come together and have fun and remember it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So hopefully your young man, is he called Dan?
Yeah.
He'll have memories of singing down here.
Yeah.
And he'll be coming around here jogging when he's 30. I sang there as a kid. For all the latest community news and events,
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.
So that was my highlights of the Riversway Festival 2012. I sat with a grin on my face all the while I was listening to that. And dear listener, I distracted you. The entertainer was called DJ Foxtrot. That was one of his personae. He really is called Gacko, Gacko. He's from Barry-in-Furness, and he's the funniest man I've met in years. So you'll have noticed that I was asking people about memories there, because memories of past guilds are one of the things that are really important to Preston people. It's sort of benchmarks through your life, and people who remember the 52 Guild are getting quite old now, because they didn't have one in the war. Remember, it was cancelled because of the Second World War, so the 52 Guild should have happened in 42, so they made sure it was a really, really, really good do. And memories are the things which Preston people carry from 120 years to the next. Now, I've got another piece of audio I'd like to play you that I collected at an area forum meeting. You may remember that Preston City Council used to have area forum, what's the plural of forum? I don't know. Area forums, where people would come together in their districts and talk about local issues. And I can't remember if this was 2011 or 12. I think it must have been 12. It was the Northern Area Forum. It was held at St Pius X School. Councillor Cartwright, Bobby Cartwright, was there. Yes, so she was the mayor, so it was 2012 before Carl took over. And I met a man called John Taylor. Now, he is attached to Page and Taylor, the wood merchants, the down on the docks. And I sat and talked to him, and he had some fascinating memories of that 1952 guild. He has memories of his father, who was an alderman, being involved in the first guild scrolls coming back to Preston. So I'm going to play you my chat with John Taylor. This is his memories of Preston Guild, and he's talking in particular about 1952. Now, tell me your name, sir, because I think we're going to talk about Preston Guild's past. Your name is?
My name is John Taylor.
Good evening, John. My name's Gary, and as you know, I'm here for Preston FM. You've got a very interesting book here.
Yes, this is the book for the 1952 Guild, and I just found on page 22 the mention of the Guild emblem that went round the old town, the town hall clock tower.
Yeah.
Now, my father was the mayor for the first half of Guild year.
Really?
John Willie Taylor, and he was later an alderman, but at this time he was the deputy mayor, and he signed the documents for them going overseas, and I have got the photograph of him signing, which I'm going to give to the lady. I have the photograph of him signing the papers, the scroll to go abroad. Now, months later, I was embarkation medical clerk on Liverpool landing stage, sleeping at night on the upper floor of the Mersey on a stretcher between two chairs.
Those were the days.
Yes, and my father came to collect the emblem and the scroll on board with Mr. Lockley, our town clerk.
So was that when they were coming back?
When he was coming back, and Mr. Lockley allowed me to go, and my CO allowed me to go on board and just go on the Emperor of Canada. And then the scroll was taken from the Princess Landing stage, which was a floating landing stage, and was taken to the town hall of the City Hall in Liverpool, locked away until Guild Week, when it was brought here by the Harriers. But my father's mentioned here, and I was actually there when it happened.
So we've heard tonight about they're going to send out the Guild Scrolls across the world.
Yes.
And then they come back and are part of the civic celebration.
Yes.
So you were there. Are you by any chance on the Guild rolls? Was your father made
He was
a burgess?
Yes, he was a Guild burgess.
So has that passed to you?
It has passed to me.
Now, I've never met anybody
Now, can I tell you something?
You can, please do. I'll sit here all night.
Right, I must ask permission first. But
if you
I was told at the 1952 Guild by senior members of the town council that Guild burgesses had the right to farm their sheep on the side of the Ribble, on the Ribble Marsh, which is now the Riversway Road continuing to Lear.
Right.
But I never followed it up to see if it was true.
I'm sure that if you tried, they would allow you your ancient rights.
I'm just going to ask now. Just stay there a second.
Okay, well, we'll just pause because you're going to check if you can run your sheep.
Yes, at the...
your father is on the Guild rolls as a burgess, so you have been to the Guild courts as his heir.
Yes.
What's it like?
In the 1972 Guild, we went to the Guild Hall, and after a lot of talking by the bigwigs, we had to go through the roll, and we had to stand up and say, "I am John Taylor." So my three children did that as well, and I had been made a Guild Freeman at the 72 Guild, but in the 92 Guild I was pretty well in a wheelchair after a very bad heart attack. But my three children, including the girls, were made Guild Freemen. But and my eldest daughter had a little boy who was 18 months old. So he was held up in his mother's arms. No, he wasn't. He was 10 months old. He was held up in his mother's arms just to make a noise.
To stake his claim.
Yes. And within the family, my sister, who is older than me, we've never had any jealousy at all. But my sister has always said within the family, there's one thing that she was jealous of her brother. She never would tell anybody, she still hasn't, but I think it is she couldn't be made a Guild Freeman in 72 because they weren't allowing ladies.
Now that's changed, I do believe.
Changed, yes, it was changing for 92.
Yeah.
So my daughters, but not my sister.
Yeah. So will you be there again next year?
Next year.
Yeah, with your family?
Yes.
All standing up to claim your Guild Burgess rights?
Yes.
And have you found out that you can't drive your sheep along the banks of the Ribble anymore?
Yes, it is only allowed, so they say, to the freemen of the town, such as Freddie Flintoff, and that is only on one day they're allowed to drive their sheep through the town centre.
I'm sure Freddie will do that.
He might!
For one of his TV shows.
I say you want to get in touch with him.
Well, we do. I mean...
No, shush. Don't. But...
A local radio station.
For local people.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community radio station.
I don't suppose anybody who knows Freddie Flintoff is listening now. I mean, it's a year after Guild, but we could still get him to drive his sheep through the centre of town as his Guild rights. I could have sat and listened to John Taylor all evening. That was at an area forum, in the build-up to Guild. I collected that audio for Preston FM, and you've noticed that we're looking back on Preston Guild 2012. I was lucky enough to be making the Guild show from June onwards, and I've got loads of stuff that I've been listening through, and I decided that this first occasional show in the series, the Yellow Factory Radio Show, Looking Back at Guild, would look at things before Guild actually started, before we got to the 18th of August and the proclamations and the big formal events. And one of the things I said that was important about Preston Guild for Prestonians was memories. And I mentioned earlier that Ian McCondicky, Edge Concern Central Lancashire, which their website is 55plus.org.uk, I fall into that category now, dear listener. They ran an 18-month, nearly 2-year project going around centres in Preston and South Ribble, talking to people, recording their memories of past Preston Guilds and collecting photos, making an appeal. And I sort of came into this late on and met with Ian several times for a chat, and then I was asked to edit the audio together and to put the photographs together into a DVD, which was given away at their exhibition, which was in the Minster, which was one of the great highlights of Preston Guild. Then it moved into one of the shops on the cheap side, I remember. So as Guild memories are really, really important, I decided to play you a little excerpt from the Age Concern Centre of Lancashire Guild CD. These are about 4 or 5 minutes worth of memories from 2 or 3 people, in particular an old lady who remembers the 1922 Guild. Now that's quite a long time ago.
I've been told that you were in the 1922 Preston Guild.
What? I was in it. I was on this park. So I wants to hear about the Guild, though, Queenie. Oh, yes. 1922, you walked in it, didn't you? I walked in the Guild. We had all the schools had so many children, and they all learned all these choruses so they could sing them together, and they were all on there.
That's the schools pageant.
And then we had what they call Tudor dancing. Then it was just girls in white dresses. Well, they were only like Grecian style, a top and a bottom and a split up side, and he had a wreath of roses round, because that was Preston's crown, I'd call it, the roses.
And I might have some pictures over there of those. I'll have to go and have a look at it. Did you take part in the procession?
Yes. And we went on there 3 days a week. And was this it might have been bandstand then, I don't know.
Would have been a bandstand there then.
We had a bandstand and they had a cafe underneath, which wasn't really big enough. It was a start as to what they needed.
Yeah. Did you walk with the churches?
Yes. And then there were the 48 steps, is it? Tell him about the when you came on the park. Oh, yes. And you went in those houses because it was raining, didn't you? Yes, those big houses over there. You see, we had to practice in rain. There was nowhere to go, and they let us in. They let us use the downstairs room, and then they let us use that during the holiday as well.
Right.
Oh.
Brilliant,
I have photographs, but they're all at home.
Oh, well.
And we paid for our clothes at schools. They used to collect £3 a week, I think it was. That's all the money then. For 3 years.
Before the Guild?
Yes, right. And they got new lights in Fishergate and the streets paid. And that money, it paid for everything they had. We weren't in a penny debt.
Right.
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
So afterwards now, they put penny on toilets. Of course, you need a bit of paper, you need them to be kept clean. I went to St Saviour's School in Malt Street, and we practiced everything here at St Stephen's School.
Right.
Yeah. And I was a senior school girl. Well, you see, this was in September, and my birthday's in September, but I'd finished school.
Right.
So I wasn't allowed to be in the pageants. So, but what they did, they taught me all the things there was, all the dances, and all the songs.
and they taught me at St Matthew's School up New Orleans,
Right.
and I came down here and taught them all at St Stephen's School. We all had something to do.
Right. I had a photograph somewhere of, I don't know which, one of my granddads, I think he was, in the 22.
22, yeah.
And he was a master plasterer, and he had a float, and he had they'd made this massive, I don't know what it was, and it's on the back of the wagon, all made out of plaster.
Right.
And it was going through, and wife has one of her father. That would have been, he was with St Joseph's Church in Church Street, walking in church past Parish Church in Church Street.
That would be 22 as well.
Yeah. No, that was 52.
52.
For all the latest community news and events,
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.
So there were some memories from the Age Concern, once every Preston Guild CD. Ian McCondicky went around for about 18 months collecting pieces of audio from people in various centres and meeting rooms, and I had the pleasure of editing them together. So yeah, memories are really important at Preston Guild. So it was important for school children to have good memories of their first Guild, 2012. And I forgot to tell you that song that we opened the programme with, We Are Proud, was sung by the children of Queen's Drive Primary School. They were singing a song which was written by two school teachers in 1992 for the Preston Guild pageant on the park, and that song, We Are Proud, was the finale of the school's pageant, and it tells the story of the history of Preston in song. In fact, I could have that as my theme tune for these occasional programmes in the Yellow Factory radio show about the reminiscences of Preston Guild 2012. Yes, what a good idea. But they re-recorded the song at Preston College in their state-of-the-art recording studios. It was hard work because there were like 80 kids on the day. I was there as one of the participating teachers who organised the project, and they had a great time. Do you know, I'm just thinking that we should ask for that CD to be put in the time capsule later this year, so that when it appears in 19 years' time, those children will be in their 30s. Yeah, they'll be in the 30s, married with kids probably, and they'll be able to look back with fond memories. So if you can make that happen for me, please, dear listener, I'd like to put that CD in the Guild Time capsule, which is being buried on the flag market by the Cenotaph later this year. Thank you for your request. I expect an email later at studio@preston.fm. No, I'm only joking, thank you. But schools, yeah. I tried to take Preston Guild to school children, because I'm a school teacher, not in one school anymore, bit of freelance, and I got some workshop things together and took them to the schools to teach the children about the history of Guild, the ceremony, the medieval traditions, the market charters going back to 1179. And one of the things which was really, really nice was at Fulwood and Cadley Primary School, they had a memories event where they got some of their community to come in and sit in front of a year 4 or 5 class and talk about their memories of Guild. I had a trusty Preston FM recorder, and we recorded it and sent it back to school. But Alan Hackett is one of their school governors. I believe he still is. But Alan, of course, was the mayor when Preston became a city back in 2002. I've met Alan on several occasions. When he was mayor, he very kindly came to my daughter's brownie pack and made her day as a visit. But I pressed Alan on the day to tell the children the story about when he was mayor, what actually happened when Preston became a city in 2002. And we were celebrating Preston's first Guild as a city, weren't we? So may I play you this really interesting backstory to what was happening for the mayor and the council on the day they received the news that Preston was going to be a Guild, well, not a Guild city, it was just going to be a city.
It'll be nearly a miracle, and I'll be 96. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one question that we were talking about before. How long is it since Preston became a city? It's 10 years, isn't it? So I wonder if Mr. Hackett could tell us anything about when Preston became a city. Because you might have been involved just a little bit. I know you wanted to rest and lie down, but you've got to share this with us.
Gary knows this is one of my high spots, that's why he's asking it.
Yeah, it needs to be shared.
10 years ago, in 2002, well, we actually started in 2001, we put together a huge book, a great big treasure chest of people's memories, children's pictures, photographs, tape recordings, letters from businesses, all sorts of things, and put in Preston's bid to be made a city. The Queen in that year was going to make some 4 places a city to recognise her 50th year. Not 60 but 50. And so we put in our go for Preston. And other places put in as well. Blackpool did, Blackburn did, Burnley did, Bolton did, Stockport, Warrington, lots more. So we all sent our bid off, and somebody in London, and in honesty I can't tell you who, worked through these, looked at them, and then made the recommendation to the Queen's office as to who should get it. 1 in Scotland, 1 in Northern Ireland, 1 in Wales, and 1 in England. Now it did so happen that year when that bundle of stuff went off, it was the year I was mayor in Preston. So I had to be there for the send-off. And that was about November. And we thought nothing more about it. And then about February, rumours started coming out. Oh, it's going to be Bolton from the northwest. And then somebody else says, oh, it's not going to be a northwest city at all. It'll be somebody down south, Swindon or Reading or somewhere. All sorts of rumours. And then in March, we were told it's this week. We didn't know which day. And about 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm in the shower. The phone goes. I was getting ready to go and do a children's thing at the library. The phone goes, and it's the mayor's office and the town clerk. And the town clerk, Jim Carr then, said, get down here quick. We've got the city bid. Well, you can imagine I did a bit of a whoopee, but I thought I'd better get dressed before I go. So went down there as fast as I could, and we got it. It was tremendous. And all sorts of things happened. Photographers turned up. We had to go out on the flag market with a big banner, get some good pictures, tell people, talk to the Lancashire Evening Post and other papers. And then we started getting radio conversations, obviously radio interviews, and then we started getting funny rings up. This is Radio Berkshire from Reading. Why? And I said, well, congratulations to Preston on becoming a city. How did you do it? We failed, you didn't, And this is what happened. And these other people who put in bids, Blackpool, Blackburn, and these others, all wished as well that we'd got it. And I think that was tremendous, that if you failed, to recognise and congratulate those who got the prize, was tremendous. And then later on, of course, we had to go to London and bring back the charter. You're not allowed to send it. And it's in the town hall. If ever you get a chance to go to the town hall, it's about as big as the glass piece of that door, this charter, with all the details from the Queen about how Preston becomes a city and all the rest of it. And then somebody said, hang on a minute, they've made a mistake. No, it's not signed. It's not signed. You don't sign it if you're the Queen for things like this. At the bottom is a huge red plaster seal. And that's the royal seal of approval, which they put on the bottom. And that's instead of the Queen's signature. So that stands on an easel in the council chamber in Preston. And there we became a city, and that was one of my real whoopee days. Thanks for asking that, Gary.
I'm glad I asked that. That's very special. Thank you for telling it. Another round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Hackett.
I just want to say, as far as I'm concerned, Preston is the greatest town in the country.
So, thank you for listening to this first show in what I hope is going to be a series of 2 or 3 about Preston Guild memories. We're going to play out the last minute of the show with a track 2 from that Children of Queen's Drive. They're singing a new version of Old Lang Syne. So I'll put the sliders up just for a minute. I'll shut up and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. My name's Gary Cunliffe.
A safe environment and more place for children to play freely. In the next 20 years, I would like the world to be a nice, happy place. I don't want anyone to fight or have wars. No one would ever argue or bully. I hope my dreams come true.
When we are grown and we look back over years that seem to fly, will we remember friends so dear from our childhood days gone by? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of
For all the latest community news and events,
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.